I'm going to try. What's up, everybody? Jason Deal here, and just wanted to do a little bit of a test run. And we're just playing around with a couple of things. We're playing with the overlay on our view here, and what I'm going to try to do is see if we can bring people in on the broadcast here, and see if that is possible. So we're just going to give this a minute to kind of build. And I think I can see that we're live. Can you see that we're live over there, Ron, on Facebook? So just wanted to hop on here. I'm gonna see if we can share it a couple times here. Share to a page. And let's share it on the Knoxville Business Show page. Perfect. We got a couple of watchers. Let's go back to the comments section. So we're just kind of playing with the software a little bit. The intent here is certainly if you want to ask a question, what we're going to check to see if we have the ability to do is bring you in live on this broadcast. You need to have clothes on if you want to come in on the broadcast. That's the first thing. So let's just give it a shot here, Ryan. Okay, so I'm going to try this here, Ryan. I'm going to see if I can send you over a link, and it's going to pop in your Facebook messaging. So I think we would have to be Facebook friends, unless there's another way to do it. I don't know. Try that there, Ryan. If somebody could post a comment or a question, even if it's just, hey, how you doing, big dummy, something, so I can test that. And boom.
Here we go.
There you go. That is awesome. So that worked. So basically, Ryan, what we're talking about is anyone who wanted to come in, they wanted to ask a question, they could do that. Certainly, we're only 2 feet away from each other, but we can do that. Even this guy here says, I'm on my desktop, no camera. So
what's up, Scott?
There we go, man. That is cool. So I guess we could probably bring him on, but we wouldn't be able to see his face, I'm assuming. I don't know. I'm going to try something else here, Ryan. I'm going to see if I can make you go away. Can you still see things on the screen there? Okay, you're just kind of hanging out in a waiting room, looks like. So this is cool. I guess the big thing is I don't know right now would be how else can we pull you in if we're not friends on Facebook? Probably you would have to. Yes. Yep. You could certainly comment with your email address, and we could email you a link over quickly, and we could pull you in live on the stream here. So that's kind of cool. Again, we're just kind of testing this here a little bit. We got 4 people watching, so that's kind of cool. Looks like maybe frozen. Oh, I'm back up again. Awesome. Well, we got 3 people watching. Let's share it in a couple more groups here, maybe. And let's share it to another page here. So I don't have the ability to share it on JD's Realty and Auction for some reason. Not sure why. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and copy a link, and I'm going to take it over here. I think the problem is if they post a comment, we're not going to be able to see it. So that'll be a good test to see if we can do that. Because if they watch it on the JD's Realty and Auction page, if it's not a stream, then we may not see the comment. Let's give it a shot here and see. So I have no idea who's watching. I cannot see that. So that's, you can maintain autonomy, I guess, and you don't have to worry about if I can see you or not. So I'm going to watch the JD's Realty and Auction page to see how's everybody doing though. How is everybody doing? I think we're on the other side of this coronavirus thing. We're getting close. I know everybody's anxious to get out. Businesses are anxious to get started, um, back in normal operations, and we are too. We are ultra excited to be ready to start back live. We're ready to. We've got this. We got a massive live auction. We've got planned. We're just waiting for a clear opportunity to be able to start that event, to make sure that it's safe, to make sure this thing is behind us. Just looking forward to that. We got several pieces of real estate. We're just doing a lot of business meetings right now. Just trying to keep everything moving steadily. We got several states that we're working on, but really today's about talking about small business. So if you guys have any questions, I'm going to try to post a test question here. See if it populates over here. Yeah, I'm not seeing that. So it pretty much has to be, I think, on the actual stream itself, on the original page. That's what I'm thinking. So guys, just post up any questions you have. This is Q&A. This is if you've got a small business and you've got a question that you want to ask, or if you got a comment, you can certainly type those questions and I can respond. Or I can pull you in to this live feed, pending you have clothes on, and get you on the show here and just kind of have a conversation. If you would like, we can certainly do that. Or if you just got an auction question, anything that I think I have knowledge to be able to answer. Don't ask me if if the market's gonna crash. I don't know. I don't think it is. I'll tell you what I think, but I don't think it's going to. So I'm gonna go back over here. But we got 8 people watching. Nobody's commenting, or either I can't see them. I don't know. Maybe I can't see the comments. You guys have to have some sort of question, or everyone is extremely bored and you really don't have anything else to do except for see what we've got going on. So while we're waiting, somebody's got to want to join. If you want to join this broadcast, just type in again your email, and it will not be public. The only way that your question goes public is if I post on this broadcast, or you can send me a direct message. What? Okay. Awesome. You know what I could probably do? I could probably share it over here. Let's try something here. We're really just kind of testing this out to see how to be able to utilize this service for the future. Oh, we got one coming in here. Let's see what it says. Is there a resource a small business can access to help navigate and recover from COVID-19? Why don't you ask me an easy question, brother? Like, yeah, no softballs. Yes. So the answer is yes, there is. And the first place that you want to start is SBA.gov. That's smallbusinessassociation.gov. On there, everything is laid out on particular resources in terms of the relief fund that President Trump put into action in Congress. Now, I heard yesterday that there were certainly issues with funding already being expired, like there's already out of money. I don't know. We personally have not applied for the PPP, so there's multiple streams that you can apply for. That's the Payment Protection Program, or otherwise known as the PPP. And then, of course, there is the other fund that is a $10,000 advance, as well as payment for rent, for payroll, for for purchase orders and things of that nature. So the big thing, though, that I want to caution everybody on right now is understanding, what is forgivable on that particular loan, or what would be utilized as a grant, and what would not be utilized as a grant, or what you would owe back. So you have got to get with your CPA. That's where I would tell you to start, is get with your CPA, talk to them about ensuring that you have very separate accounts, um, ensuring you have separate accounts, as well as understanding and being able to track if you got the PPP loan, ensuring that you can show the government, here's where that money went, here's who I paid, here is the mortgage payment that I made, here's the rent payment that I made, because they lay it out very clear what can be or what they plan on forgiving versus what they plan on continuing to use as a loan, right? So you've got that very strict guidelines. So just make sure that you understand what those are if you're going down that path. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, that is that stimulus package just for small business type stuff. Second thing is join your local chamber of commerce. If you're not a member of your chamber of commerce, I would tell you that I feel like chambers are doing far more than they've ever done right now. Now, certainly every chamber is a little bit different, but they're certainly trying to reach out and help. For example, we have our small business, we'll call it a meeting, for example, Wednesdays at 6 p.m. We have our next one. It's going to be Q&A. I think I'm froze. I'm back now. Awesome. So you got that going on, and then obviously reach out, talk to other professionals within your particular niche. Within the auctioneer community, we've got, seems like we got a conference call about every day. We've got one that's I think online right now that just started. We do weekly calls, national calls, to be able to help each other. So there's tons of resources. You just got to be proactive and looking for those particular resources. That was a long answer. I hope that answered Scott's question there, best of my ability. Am I freezing on your page? Is somebody streaming a movie or anything in here on 5.0? Go down to 2.4 or something. Oh, look here. Who we got? Dick Peebles on. What's up, brother? Have any auctions coming up? Yes, sir. So Mr. Richard Peebles, he and I served together on, and I tell you what, it was a pleasure serving with you, my man. He's down in Florida doing great things. He is a JROTC instructor and doing great things. Yeah, man, we've got, let's see, we've got 2 auctions this weekend. We've got a coin and just a coin auction on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we have a estate auction. Really nice stuff in that estate auction. Good to see you, man. Hope everything's well. How's everything going in Florida? I'm assuming you're probably anxious to get back to school. Yeah, we certainly can't. I mean, I don't know if that was Will dragging down the internet or not, but I think I'm froze. Well, now I'm moving again. Now I'm back operating. There we go. I think I'm back up. Okay. So awesome. All right, guys, we're just kind of live doing Q&A, just talking a little bit about the world, what's going on in the world, testing some of this out. He says I don't think that's going to happen, trying to move, but yeah. So I think Natalie was talking today. Was talking about maybe school's not even going to start back this year, which is it's not going to start back. It was already been confirmed. Yeah, that's rough. moving back to Texas. That's awesome. Where are you gonna go when you go back to Texas? Going to what are you gonna do? Go back to JRTC's job? What is it statewide, Will?
The governor.
Okay.
I know Maryville was not going back.
So Maryville City. Yeah, so Maryville City has already declared that they are not going back to school. Shoo! I'll tell you what, my niece is going to be heartbroken. Senior year, it's rough. That's tough. Tough stuff. That would be a good Q&A to talk about, Ryan, really and truly would be how are parents dealing with trying to be teachers right now, trying to continue to work, trying to run their business. I mean, that's a massive juggle act. When we're experiencing it, we ain't seen her in 3 weeks, right? It's tough. Golly, what are kids doing, or what are parents doing right now that had a job, a 9 to 5, clock in, clock out, both parents working? What your mic is so scrackly. I'd like to bring you back on. Let's try it one more time. It was crackly when you were talking.
How's it sounding now?
There you go. No, you're good.
Okay. Well, what's interesting about the parents, I was listening last night. A parent was saying that's their main form of childcare with school. And now what is she supposed to do? That was a mom's concern. So it's basically they're getting 2 summer breaks. Is kind of what the deal is. Back-to-back summers. So it's definitely tough on working parents.
Yeah, it adds such a huge layer of stress, right? Because, I experienced it 2 days ago where Natalie had to go out to an estate and Jed has, I don't know, 5 things of homework to do. And I'm trying to get caught up with what does he have to do? And if you guys have a 7, 8, 6-year-old, they don't want to do work right now. To them, they're still on summer break. And so that lasted for what? You were here, you witnessed it 10 minutes max.
You had a solid, concentrated 10 minutes there.
Solid 10 minutes. It was just rough.
It's a tough adjustment for everybody, including the kids. So.
Yeah, and so now we're in mid-April. We got June, July, mid-August. We're talking 3 more months. Now, of course, most people are ready to transition for the summer.
Right.
They have that plan in place.
I think it'd be also interesting to hear from parents of kids who are graduating. Seniors. How are they handling? That's a momentous time. So it's got to be tough. You look forward to that, your kid's graduation, and it's not going to happen. So,
yeah, it's like I don't know if Scott's still on or not, but Maggie, she's a senior and about to graduate, and she had got to experience her brother graduating last year. What would be interesting too is if we could get her on.
to get her perspective.
Yeah, we need to do that. Scott, if you're still on, we need to get Maggie on the show. And I would love to hear. You've got a NCAA softball player getting ready to get into ranks of college. Obviously, she's excited about that, but I don't think she was ready to leave high school yet.
You got your senior prom that you miss out on. Walking across the stage with your friends that you've been with for however many years. That's got to be tough.
Yeah, because no one ever plans on not, completing your senior year for something like this. It's just you feel like it's almost like it's unfinished.
It is. Yeah, that'd be cool if she'd be willing to hop on sometime.
Yeah, I don't think we give her an option. I think we I think
Uncle Jason says, "Get on."
that's right. That's right. We got to get Maggie Deal on the show, and would love to hear what her perspective and you know how she's communicating with her friends and what she's doing to essentially prepare. You know, the other thing is, and Will would probably have a little bit of insight. He moderates ACT tests and things like that of what are kids that were juniors, you know, trying to essentially get their ACT score up, get that first test in, and then if kids were a lot like me, hey, the first half of the year you kind of did what you wanted to do, and the second you spent the entire second half of the year trying to pull your grades up. Guess what? You don't have a second half of the year, right?
It's
I mean,
gone. Yeah.
it is absolutely gone. I mean, let's see what people are saying here. You know, it'll be a virtual, but it won't replace the graduation they want. It's not the same. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just not. You know, for everybody to yell for you, you know, when your name's announced. I mean, it's a pretty big moment.
Yeah.
You know what I was thinking too is, you know, senior year, for the most part, I mean, you know, you kind of get to enjoy it a little bit. I'm talking about, you know, maybe not busting it as hard. You know, obviously your schoolwork is hopefully maybe to that point you're maybe have a little more lax schedule. You know how seniors kind of have it a little easier sometimes, and now they, you know, this class not so much.
Yeah, I mean, you spent your entire high school career, which was 3 years up until this point, which seems like a lifetime when you're a freshman,
Right.
a lifetime when you're a sophomore. You're almost there as a junior. You finally hit senior year, and it's what you've been putting up with for the last 3.5 years. And it's like, boom, it's just taken away from you. Absolutely taken away. But you know what? That's life, man. Welcome to life. Let's just face it. You know, I don't know how Maggie would
Brutal
take that.
introduction there right out of high school.
Hey, you know what? You don't always get what you want. You think you have a business that is ready to get ready to get moving, ready to get fired up, and ready to get started, and boom, something
Yeah.
just happened. Yeah. Angel says hi, Ryan.
What is up, Angela Crespi? How are you doing? Good to hear from you.
Okay, let's see here. He's blowing me up with some more questions. Let me see if I can get over here. Man, you're writing a lot, so it takes me a minute to process all this here. Okay, let's just pop. I don't know if it's going to show the whole thing on there. I don't think I've ever had a question that long, but he says, answer me this. Why do we social distance for this virus, but don't social distance ourselves from people who have the common cold and have them cough and sneeze with no protection around us? Yeah, I mean, it's, I don't know, man. And for those of you who don't know what CBRN, it's chemical, biological, radiation, and nuclear. He was a CBRN expert within the Army ranks, was trained on how to do that. So I don't know. You know, it's kind of like what we were talking about the other day, Ryan, has this changed the way that we view life? You know, is this going to be something that changes everything? Social distancing, shaking hands, you know, are you always, like Bobby Adams was talking about, are you always going to be carrying that hand sanitizer in your pocket?
You know, I think people that were kind of geared toward that in the first place are going to be even more heightened now. But I think that, like anything else, after a certain amount of time, some things will go back to normal. I do believe that. And I think part of that is, I mean, when we're talking about shaking hands or giving somebody a hug, I mean, that's been around as long as humankind has been around. So to think that this was going to eliminate that, it's just hard for me to believe. You know, we have a tendency sometimes to forget how bad things were the further we are removed from it. You know, so I think that at some point, I hope we'll be back to being comfortable with shaking hands with each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
But certainly there will be some things that will never be the same.
Well, I'll tell you this. I saw an acquaintance this morning at the gas station when I stopped and got gas from my truck. And as I was walking in, as I was walking back out, he was basically at the door. He stuck his hand out, said, "Hey, Jason, how are you?" And I paused and hesitated just for a second. I really did. I kind of hesitated, and it was like one of those double twitches, like, "Hey,
Yeah.
buddy, how are you?"
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. Like, will time like make that mental switch where I won't do that again? I hope.
I hope so too. I do.
Let's see here. I got to censor people's questions sometimes because he uses 4-letter words. So it says, "Yes, it has from this day forward because the fear has been set, and now everyone will at some point view like, should I or shouldn't I hug and shake someone or go back with others not as much?" Yeah. So I mean, that's exactly what we're talking about. Others I
Yeah.
think will just fall right back into rhythm, fall back into place.
Which
Uh,
which makes it awkward if one person's on one side and the other person's on the other side. You
Right.
know, if I come up like this morning, he obviously didn't hesitate to stick out his hand.
Did not hesitate.
So if I go up to somebody and stick out my hand, they're like, "Oh, I don't do that anymore." It's
How
okay.
do you just say I don't shake hands anymore?
Yeah, I've given that up.
Yeah, I have quit shaking hands and giving hugs. I mean, gosh, it's going to be tough. Oh, he's laughing because of what I said there. We've got 12 watchers on here, and Dick Peoples is keeping us entertained and engaged. Um, I think it'll work. I think this is kind of a neat little platform, and would love to pull people in. We've been talking about a little bit of everything, even though it was titled Small Business Q&A. A little bit of everything. We can make some adjustments here. I can flip screens around a little bit. It's kind of cool. So we can do a few little things. Let's see if I've got do I have a ticker? Yeah, we got that going on. So cool. Well, I think we'll get off here. Thanks everybody for tuning in. This was not this was not anything that we had planned. We just thought we would hop on and test out our software. I'm liking it, and we appreciate y'all watching us. Have a wonderful day.